Yo, what up? What up? Good morning, GM. Tuesday, February 3rd, 2020. Another beautiful day to have a beautiful day. Look at that. I got my co-host in the house, Tyler Mando with the bando. How you guys doing today? Good morning.
Good morning, man. Yeah, bit of a crazy weekend. Sorry, I missed yesterday's show. But yeah, still looks like crap. Actually, looking at prices. Oh well.
Good morning. Bom dia. Well, we can get to that. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we can get to that. Tyler, how you doing?
I'm good. Just managing some trades this morning. Active for our ace trader, and into the top 20.
So I'm not looking good.
Involved in this, don't I?
I'm not looking good in this. We're going to talk about the Ace Trader Comp. Speaking of Ace Trader Comp, I think Stats is joining us. I don't know if it's today or tomorrow, but I think Stats will join us. Anyway, today on the show, markets. Just markets. And then we'll go through news. I'm sure there's a few things to talk about. Then, of course, we'll do an Ace Trader segment as we're all three of us in the chat on here. So, pop up my screen, put a trade on. My trades that I put on yesterday were shit. Your boy is down a lot, but we'll figure it out. Okay, today we turned that around on the Ace Trader Comp. I must win. FOMO boys must sweep. Tyler's looking good. You love that. Mando, I have to say, KBM, Myriad Predictors, they're piling in on him. We're going to have to prove him wrong. And then last but not least, Yeet. Well, Yeet, actually, man, yesterday Yeet was in maintenance during the giveaway. So we couldn't we couldn't do it. So that means today there's three players. Vessel Weeds won Friday, so he's gonna play today. Vanessa won yesterday, she's gonna play today, and we're gonna pick a third winner. So together, triple threat on the Yeet giveaways using the code FOMO Hour to sign up. And with that being said, Mano, we missed you. Let's get into the markets.
Who is the man, macro daddy of the land? Can you dig it?
GM, everyone. Yeah, so I don't know what was spoken about yesterday, but definitely saw a bit of a puke over the weekend, and we're just kind of recovering from that. We broke through some pretty key levels there. We're now sitting at close to the lows from last year. I don't think we're just gonna smash through these on the first go. I think we're gonna have a bit of a bounce here, but it's not the sort of bounce I want along. Let me put it that way. I still think that Bitcoin doesn't just go to like 70K here. I think we've got a bit more of a bounce than what we've seen. I would be unsurprised if we go above 80K, and I think people who are like shorting majors here in particular could get a little bit burnt. But I am fully of the view now that Bitcoin's going to have a bit of a weak few months, could trend to 60s, and just be prepared for that. So yeah, my positions, I was set up pretty well actually going into this. I have largely cut a lot of my risk on both sides. Cut some hype today, and obviously cut my shorts. I still have my two macro positions, which is like just long Google and long gold, and I still like those trades. But yeah, I guess I'm a bit more wary about the Google side of that than the gold trade actually right now. But those have been just grinding higher. Obviously, gold is down a lot from its highs, but it's still
it's back up today. Nice.
4K, so like it's 5K. Sorry, so it's a decent trade. I don't know. The market just seems like aesthetic still, but I think this is a dangerous territory to go like max short. Let me put it that way.
Yes, sir. Wow, we got a whole Stats house tour as well. Love that. Stats, how you doing?
What's going on, my brother? How are you?
We're vibing. We're here. We're surviving. We're alive. The boys are showing up. The boys are competing. Guys, Amanda, I want to ask you something today. You know, I know a lot of people are not believers of the 4-year cycle, but it looks like the cycle cycled. And it looks like, because what you're talking about with trending even lower is kind of a confirmation of that. What do you think?
Maybe. I feel like the cycle would have happened already.
Well, it dumped in Q4, right? Like people start dumping Q4 Bitcoin,
Yeah.
right?
Well, maybe it's the same. I just think we're going lower now. Like that was its. I said, look, I think it was going to go up to 100K. It hit 98K. That whole reversal died, and then from that point onwards, it was really just if it's going to bounce at 80K or not, and it didn't. It just kind of hung out there for a little bit and smashed through it. Now there isn't a lot, I have to say, that's going to protect you. I think that you start to go into like much longer term trend things that can protect you, and those unfortunately lie lower. They lie at like 60K ish. So yeah, my gut is that we may bounce just because this was the 2025 low around there. But I also think that this, we could see prices below 70K in the next 2 months very quickly. I don't think we're going to hang around here for a long time. Is basically what my view is. Well, we hung around for a few months at 82, between 85 and 95K. I don't think we're hanging out at this level for that long. I think we got to bounce, and then I think we're going lower.
You know what? I feel like the comment that I took to heart when you said it for the first time in Q4, Mando, you guys had just left Korea, I believe. And you basically said in your conversations with what I interpreted as Asian whales, you said they were all 4-year cycle believers and they were all going to sell. Yeah. My long bias kind of got in my way a little bit. But in that, I was like, I guess this is how the 4-year cycle plays out. If enough whales just decide that, yeah, we're going to sell now and we're going to rebuy lower.
You look at that chart, like this.
Again, sorry.
Let
me bring it up here. The Bitcoin chart.
Yeah, for me, this just isn't a level where it will hang out for a long time. Like that was a level it immediately bounced at, and now we're just here. This isn't some like insane support level. It's just a support.
Yeah.
My gut tells me that you zoom out, we're going back to like the range below that, which was if you go to the left, basically the kind of choppiness we saw between 60 and 70.
This one here?
Yeah, where we were for literally months, right? I think we're going back there, and I think act accordingly.
How long was that?
That was a long time, and this is where I think we're going. I do think we're going to bounce here right now because I think everyone's going to maybe just like, oh, you never just fall like this, even when we just dumped 20%, 15-20%, we were rallying right up until that moment, and then everything dumped. I think we're going to get a little rally here, probably above 80K. Everyone's going to be like, it's so back, and then I think we're going down to that level.
I'll be the cheerleader. Frog, I also said, you know who called this? Zoran Cole.
Dude, I saw that. Did you send it? Yeah, I saw that tweet. Ay.
Like we basically were at the the neckline move just happened. Oh wait, the neckline move might have been the November.
That was the night. That was the. Yeah.
Then the pump back, and then now we're starting to be in that the bottom range there.
The shoulder move would be that move that we all thought was going to 100K, and I guess 97.8K is all the juice that was left. Right.
But the optimism here is that he has us chopping there for 7 months or whatever, similar to what you just kind of laid out. Right?
Well, it goes to October, right? What Mando's saying, that 250-day copy pasta from there is what I mean. Was it into the cryptoverse, Benjamin, who's honestly really good. That's why he's got it at, right? He's saying, "Wake me up when September ends." So he's got it at October.
I think we could be in that range for a while. Yeah, like that's a very significant range that we're in for a long time. Like if we were ready to break down from that, well, that would be ugly. But my gut is there's just not that much volume that took place at these levels. That there was kind of before, and we tested that 80K level a bunch of times. But once you're through it, don't hang around trying to buy bounces until we go down to like 60K. Like I don't see a lot there. So yeah, my gut tells me that do not buy this market. Whatever you do not go FOMO in because Bitcoin goes above 80K.
Yeah.
I really do think we're about to go lower, and it's razor thin down here.
Yeah.
In terms of support, I do think there's still good trades. Like I bought hype. I didn't when I felt that Bitcoin had bottomed or like had hit a little mini bottom. I bought hype, and that was 25-30% trade in the end. Like
Insane.
Incredible, right? You can still get really good trades here. Just be cognizant that majors. Like I think Solana could go down to like 70 here. By the way.
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
We have a Solana chart. Like
I really don't want to actually. I'm kidding. Let's just bring it up. 1 second. There you go. Oh wow, it's back to 100.
that is a disgusting looking move right there.
Wow. Yeah, right there. Right there, around here. Yeah. I mean, you're probably gonna all the charts probably gonna look something like, you know.
No, that one's definitely the worst looking.
It's not great.
It broke through that. Look, it broke through that 126, level that was around for fucking ages. Now it's heading back to this level that it bounced at last time. But if it breaks that, lights out, baby.
Yeah.
So do you have like what's in the move down? Like other than cycle timing, like, do you have a read on that?
No, not really. Honestly, I don't. But I've been so wrong on that. Do you know what I mean? One bit this whole thing has humbled me on is the whole causality side of stuff. Like I had my view, and I was proved wrong all the way from 120 down to 100, and then called said, look, this isn't working, and then wasn't in the market, and then look the other way actually. And I'm not really in the market. If I was to look at the fundamentals around crypto right now, none of this makes sense.
Yeah.
Apart from overhanging worries about quantum or maybe a DAT implosion, but it feels like the biggest DATs aren't going to implode.
The system completely broken. A lot of people got
like so I'm not going to give a narrative because you could find whatever narrative you like.
I think you've seen them on the timeline now, right? Yesterday I was going back and forth a little bit with Fred on the timeline, just like healthy like conversation, and like he was saying people are saying it's the Trumps and their family. Then some people will say, oh, it's CZ and Binance, and I feel like we're at the part of the stage where it's like we're trying to find the reason when it's just guys like the same cycle played out. Like whales were selling, we were covering it on the show. Like whales were turbo dumping an incredible amount of Bitcoin all Q4. All Q4, like whales were dumping their Bitcoin. And we're here like, oh no, like the DATs are gonna be able to buy the inflows, but like they have dumped all Q4, like clockwork. And I guess I feel like it was just one major psyop that the cycle was broken because of like all, like you said, like there's a lot of good stuff happening in crypto, Mando, with TradFi, regulation, everything, and just happened. I mean, stats. Were you a believer of the Fourier cycle or not? What's your gut read?
I mean, I think it's kind of like simplistic voodoo, really. Just like saying
What's
like,
that?
nothing matters. We just sit around for 4 years and it goes up and then it goes down. Is the world really this simple, Farouk?
I mean, it's happening.
Play out again though. Like that's what
that's what I'm saying. Like that's the realization. You know what it is? Stats actually, yes. That's why I looked back at it yesterday. Sunday, I spent a lot of time like looking at the charts, the prices, kind of getting a feel for how I'm gonna approach this, and etc. Like, and my conclusion was yes, actually.
I mean, I think the idea that I mean, no offense, but none of you guys should have a job. right? Like if this is literally
Why?
just buy every 4 years and watch it go up and then it goes down after 4 years and it's just literally like a third grade math problem. What are we doing here? I mean,
I mean, it just happened again.
I don't know. I don't buy it myself, but
Then
I
we
mean,
need a job because we
maybe
need to cover
maybe if you
compensation.
wanted to if you wanted to like maybe you can do something around the halvening cycle and how that kind of correlates with the 4-year cycle and like but it just feels like a stretch to me.
Do you have a read on? It's like, what is your narrative following price action, or why do you feel crypto's underperforming?
It's hard. Like I do think 10-10 mattered. I do think that the narrative that I mean, I have lost money in this cycle because I legitimately thought that, with Trump being elected, you would get an environment where the government started to kind of think about buying Bitcoin and then other states would follow suit. And, we were talking about every single state following suit and then as a result, other countries would follow suit and like the USA would lead and everyone would follow. And I think we're realizing right now the opposite is like whatever the USA does, everyone else wants to reject. And that's not to say that people are rejecting that. I just think the thesis that got everyone excited has completely collapsed. So we had this huge bull run, basically from inauguration day until March on my thesis there, which is why I added like at 100K, right? Because I thought like we were just going to get this cycle where we set this new standard and the rest of the world and the states followed suit. And it was just like a new era for Bitcoin. And I think the absolute opposite has played out where countries are doing the opposite. They're buying other stuff. And the whales were like, yeah, we got our guy in office. We got this pump to 110. I'm out. So they actually, and perhaps they did sell, but they didn't just sell at 70K. They sold because they had this crazy pump they didn't believe in. And I think I think that speaks to getting away from the roots of the movement. Like you got away from the roots. Like it was the idea that a centralized government was going to save a decentralized currency. And a bunch of the people who owned all the Bitcoin were like, wait a second, this isn't exactly why we were here. So you had that selling, and then you had no one else to pick up the slack there other than a bunch of dats who had no interest in owning Bitcoin in the first place and were just trying to arb retail. So right now you just have this disconnect where there's a lack of belief. And I said this earlier. I think this quantum computing piece by Chris Wood, the reason I think it's relevant is because when I lived in Asia, when I worked in macro research and Chris Wood was a competitor, he was just one of those guys that everyone liked. He worked at a bank called CLSA and he wrote he was the research analyst in Asia that most people read because he was fun to read. He had charts, he understood graphics. Like his piece was called Greed and Fear. He was witty. Like he had all the things that made it like pop research. And he was one of the first people that got on the Bitcoin train. Like in 2020, 2021, this guy got on the Bitcoin train. He said, I'm recommending, my investment bank is recommending you put a big piece of your portfolio, not a big chunk of your portfolio into Bitcoin. So when he said, I'm lowering my allocation to 0% 2 weeks ago when Bitcoin was at 92,000 because the quantum risks are too big for an asset that people simply own because of its long-term sustainability. Like you own it because you think it's a 30-year play. And if people are saying, well, that's a 7-year issue, then now you got to get out 7 years ahead. When he says that to the ETF audience, which is the reason we pumped despite the whales dumping, I think that was a big turning point.
I actually agree with that. So this, when I came away from the Real Vision conference, that was the one thing I felt was much bigger in terms of the narrative and mind share than perhaps us on CT are wondering about. It's kind of got the same sort of mind share as Bitcoin's bad for the environment. Like it's very normie friendly in that suddenly it's like this thing that no one really understands, but Bitcoin's given it that label, it's suddenly in the back of everyone's mind like crap. Like I don't want to lose my money to something I don't understand and I don't think it's being taken seriously, really.
I think back in the day when someone would talk about quantum risk, you'd go to a Bitcoin conference and two Bitcoin guys would argue against them, against people who disagree. They dunk. They say all these things about normie fine. That's not happening here. It's not like this is a bunch of ETF buyers who are getting spooked because no bank's out there writing a big research report about how quantum is actually overplayed. Whereas it used to, again, this isn't to say we don't bounce and have another pump. I'm just, if I'm looking at what's been missing, I'm still long a ton of Bitcoin, right? It's a big piece of my portfolio. But if you look at what has driven it, I think these are some of the things that jump out to me.
So is the quantum solution what's going to break us out of this bear market? Is that the catalyst that we need to look for effectively? I
don't think there is a solution.
There isn't an obvious one, and I think that it's something that is going to be bashed over crypto's head for the next couple of years, because I don't think it's a short-term fix. Like even if you read Nick Carter's stuff, and he's been a bit more doomerish about all this, but the way that he's talking about stuff is in years. This is not something that gets talked about in weeks. Like an upgrade to protect even some part of Bitcoin would take years here, and you have other blockchains moving much quicker, and there's just collateral damage as Bitcoin moves lower. Like even if all the other blockchains decided, hey, we're going to be able to be quantum.
Check this out.
Resistant.
You want to see something?
It would, and someone in the comments said quantum would destroy TradFi too. It would, but TradFi is moving to protect itself, and that's the issue here. It's not that if everyone did absolutely nothing, quantum would take over. Be able to solve all of your password security for most of the banking system, but that's not what's going to happen. Everyone who can't upgrade their systems is going to try and upgrade their systems, and the issue about Bitcoin is that it's seen as like a sacred text, which you can't fuck with. So then you get in this scenario where because Bitcoin is seen as you don't touch it, that it can get left behind, and the upgrades take years.
Yeah, man, I agree. I think that like people are like, oh, this will like, Chase Bank will get screwed too. But Chase Bank is centralized. All you need is one CEO to say, let's turn our keys that are 50 characters into 600 characters. Like you just need one CEO to make that decision and it's done. Like decentralization where you have governments and people all over the world who have votes, and you have kind of the originalists who have votes, and I think decentralization is a huge disadvantage when it comes to security and fighting kind of existential issues.
There's a reason that don't work.
So hard. The purpose of Bitcoin, you never have to change it, and now people are saying, but in 10 years you might have to change it. Like it's not like there's an easy, and like there will be a solution. It'll probably involve a lot of people losing their Bitcoin, where people have to make upgrades voluntarily if they want to stay, and people who just have their money stored in a ledger and haven't thought about it and aren't paying attention will lose their, I don't know. I think there will be solutions, but it's going to be very messy. And I would much rather be a centralized organization when it comes to like fighting this risk.
I mean, in anything in crypto, for what it's worth, we've seen that was the break, and we thought that was going to be the future of the entire industry. Novagrass this morning said that literally that $9 billion Bitcoin sale, remember when that guy moved Bitcoin? It was early rich, clearly smart, and fairly concerned about quantum resistance, and that was today. Jeez. So I don't think what we're saying is, or in that shit from Nick Carter, who I think we all agree here. You guys seem to agree on this topic, but if that person was early and sold wasn't that the guy who traded like a couple $100,000 to 10 billion or something? There are people that are concerned about this, so it's real.
Galaxy came out today, said Bitcoin could go to 58K.
Yeah, they did. Novo today came out. I think they got quite a few losses on their books from 1010, right? They talked about that. So Nick has been we should get Nick on, actually. And Nick has been pretty vocal early corner regarding what's going on here on the quantum side of things. But anyways.
Is that maybe this one? So is this how ETH flips Bitcoin?
I love this guy.
Amazing.
The merchant of narratives.
So what do you make
get Pio on, man? No one defends Bitcoin like Pio.
It's a serious question though. At what point do you have to make a portfolio adjustment?
Do I?
Go ahead, Sam. Go sorry.
Like I hold a decent chunk of Bitcoin. So like at what point, like, do we just hold through this, right?
Well, one question I think Mando probably has better insight into is like, to me, a 7 to 10 year risk for an asset class whose entire purpose is to exist for centuries, like, is existential today. That said, you are like, this was an existential risk when Bitcoin was at 80K. People were all talking about it. And then we went to 123. So like, I don't know how to think about the pumps within the longer term trajectory, or maybe this is all being overplayed. I don't know. In which case, yeah, I just find it so hard to know what, like, are more pumps possible if this is like an overarching kind of like fear? Are there other narratives that could start taking over that could get us to pump again? I don't know.
I am generally of the view that narrative follows price. So I do think that if we started to pump, suddenly the narrative could just kind of go away. And this one, to me, feels like the one that's driving the majority of it is driving the majority of price action for OGs. I think, like, if you're a Bitcoin OG right now, why the hell are you selling? Like, what are you doing? Like, why? You must be sitting there going, like, gold is going all-time highs, global liquidity is going all-time highs. Everything that I would ever want around Bitcoin is panning out. We're not in a world where rates are going up or the stock market's in a lot of worry. Like, you're not being forced to sell by the world upending at this stage. This isn't COVID. You're just sitting there and Bitcoin is underperforming and continues to underperform. So why are you selling? I can only think it's quantum.
That, and also maybe they're sitting on a lot of gains already too. And
But
you're like,
it's down $50,000.
I know, but like the people who didn't sell 69K held through 15K, and maybe they saw that and were like, fuck this. That could be another reason. Quantum being the main reason, I think.
Yeah, maybe it's a bit of that, but like normally Bitcoin OGs, they're pretty chilled. Like, and this is the sort of period they'd be stacking.
Yeah, well, I mean, we are a decade in. Also, maybe they don't like the other thing is the institutionalization of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's no longer this. I guess the second thing after quantum is this. Actually, yeah, the institutionalization of Bitcoin is anti-cypherpunk.
Maybe I think that's just a rotation of who maybe owns it, and there is a testing of. I agree. There's a testing of if a bunch of ETFs suddenly own Bitcoin, and then the Jefferies head of equity research comes out and says it's a worry, like that is going to affect that cohort a lot more than OGs potentially. But that seems more like a temporary thing. Like the quantum thing feels a bit more like it scares every cohort.
Going back to what you said, Tyler, though, you started with on the ETH thing. I'm starting to feel about ETH, like, obviously, as a technology, I do believe like Ethereum is one of the greatest pieces of technologies that's mankind ever created. And I really mean that. From 10 years, never broke. We've upgraded multiple times, never broke. The gas fees right now are null, and blobs are going to be free soon. Like this thing is like incredible. This thing is a machine. I do think, I'm asking myself whether or not price has decoupled from tech. Speculation has decoupled from tech when it comes to Ethereum. You've had the best things go on for Ethereum from a narrative perspective, people selling it on television, this and that, and we couldn't even break 5K. And I'm wondering if, like, Ethereum's going to be around in 100 years, right? I think we can all agree. They have the privacy narrative going on for themselves, the quantum narrative going on for themselves, lately the AI narrative going on for themselves. I wonder if Ethereum is one of those technologies where like price is just decoupled from the tech. Does that make sense? Like, I'm just wondering, how does price go up?
I don't know if the price has ever been coupled with the tech. I just think it's always been like a FOMO machine, kind of a Bitcoin follower. What does Tom Lee go on TV? Does Joe Lubin go on and speak at conferences? Like, I just don't think, I think that's the big problem that almost all crypto has, is that there's no, like, in stocks, Mando's long Google, right? If Google goes down too much, they can say, okay, we're going to use our $200 billion cash pile to pay shareholders, and suddenly people are like, oh shit, I want some of that $200 billion. So the price goes up. Like, there are actual real life factors within the world of finance, and crypto doesn't have any of that. Like, so, I mean, a ton of open source softwares are worth nothing where the tech is used by everyone in the world. And I think the narrative of like gas kind of goes in towards like whatever it is that where gas prices get burned, and therefore there's some fundamental thing. It's just always felt extremely loose to me. Like, Hype is the only coin where I think you can actually kind of make what at least feel like understandable
Which is why it's working, right? Like there's a world where certain coins will decouple themselves from that because they're more like the Googles of this world.
Yeah, and I think that when you have that, but ETH have just never understood it. Like I think the price is driven by factors. This is why, like, I think I don't know. I just don't get as excited as everyone does about like stable coin regulation. Like what do I care about stable coin regulation? What do I care about stable coins? Like the Ethereum blockchain. Who cares? What do am I long stable coins in a way that makes me money? It's just like,
I mean, we're not the issuers, so no, we're not.
yeah, if I work for Tether, I'd be pumped. Or if I work for Coinbase, then it's good.
Paxos, TSD1, all those guys.
Yeah, people in this space get so excited about like a blockchain rail being used by something. I'm like, what the fuck do we care? Because there's no correlation to price with any of that stuff. I'm just like, it's about the big picture narratives and the FOMO. That's what drives price.
I don't
disagree. Think when Thread Guy goes on and is critical of Trump now and says like this has been, I think it's because what really matters is at an international scale, a government scale, big institutional scale, is this an asset that people are respecting more or not respecting more? Matters 100x more than stablecoin legislation. And I think that right now we've had setbacks in terms of just reputation as far as like it serving the role that people hoped it would.
Okay, let's go there then. And I'm curious about your thoughts also, Ty and Mando, then on that thing. I'll bring up to our guys' tweet. Where I don't necessarily agree is, so if Bitcoin now is seen as an American asset, which I don't believe, the S&P is an American asset and everything else American asset, and everything's up. Everything's up. But that.
They pay dividends.
And not only, okay, you're out of that. But the other thing is, I feel like
this has been a world where the Mag 7 has taken over basically every business in the world. So if you want to make money over the past 20 years, you've had to own large cap US tech stocks. This is a world where AI is taking over and Amazon is going to fire tons of workers and get robots and their cost base is going to go down 80%. Yeah, you want to own US stocks in this world. But when you come to these assets, that's where their entire price is determined by reputation and FOMO. Like you can get some negative trends starting to set in place. I think it's just it's a reputation-based asset.
I think there's two sides to this, and Tyler, go to you after. And that Mando, I think there's two schools of thoughts here. There's a trader school of thought and there's a founder school of thought. Stats is that from a founder perspective, I wholeheartedly disagree with the point, because from a founder perspective, the fact that all this SEC charges have been dropped and has allowed building within this industry in the USA so much easier, made it so much easier, changes enough for me. Like it's enough of a change for me to be more comfortable. Not that we didn't stop before, not that stopped us before, but I do think that's enough of a different. But Tyler, what do you make of this? Even if whether you have an opinion or not, but
yeah, I think this is I think there's some merit to it. B, I think it's a lot of narrative following price action in general. I don't think on an individual basis there are that many whales out there who are selling because they feel like Trump is too Bitcoin aligned as their primary reason. Now, is that pausing nation states? Maybe. I could see it more at the nation state level. I think clearly the reason gold outperformed is China is investing heavily into gold versus Bitcoin. That's the primary difference in the asset performance over the last year, and also why we decoupled from M2 and all of that.
It's gone super cypherpunk, if that's your like. I think having
anti-cypherpunk for sure, yeah.
And I do think that having the Bitcoin lobby be one of the largest contributors possible to politicians, and politicians trying to come through on those promises and starting their own meme coins, it is not the punk movement it once was. And if whales feel like they fit into that. But I mean, I just think, Coinbase became a $80 billion company.
Sure.
Before I got arrested when I work at Uber. People regulators and Uber still got big. Regulators step in when the letter of the law is getting broken. But under the pre-Trump administration, Coinbase became an $80 billion company, had an IPO on NASDAQ and did really fucking well. I worked for a US company that did really well. Your company's not based in the US right now. This is just, this idea that everyone's just flooding to the US, it's just nonsense. It's just not happening. And the idea that you couldn't build a successful company back then, there were more obstacles. But Proof was a crypto company. And whatever. It's you could ETFs got passed. This idea that it was a war against Bitcoin, against crypto companies. when Coinbase got to an $80 billion valuation and was listed on NASDAQ and added to the S&P 500 pre-Trump, it's just a bit of like, I think, narrative victimization of it.
No, I don't believe that. I think they really
I mean,
I think they really came after crypto in that time.
We
really did. I think the regulation has massively changed. I don't think that's the reason why we're selling off either way. But I think the whole narrative around crypto, particularly in the US, was very different pre-Trump. You could feel it. And it's not just a narrative thing. Like there were, I mean, how many court cases did the SEC have against? They had pretty much had a court case against every single company in crypto, ongoing. They weren't winning them, but they were still trying to fight them. Every single one of those has now been dropped. This is not just a narrative thing. And this is from someone who's outside the US. Now, what I do think is that this being, I don't think Trump has been that good for crypto, and his personal ingratiation has definitely hurt it. But I also just don't think that's the reason why we're selling off. Like, I think that's kind of a US centric view of like putting the politics in front of it and being like, oh, okay, well, Trump having his own company in crypto is why we're selling off. I think it's just quantum. Someone in Asia is not selling because
the quantum stuff started at 92K. The quantum stuff was never like, I think the Chris Wood first of all, I agree. I mean, to sit here and say like Donald Trump is moving the markets, this is all just at the margin what chafes away at the overall support base. This is not like, to me, this is not a big picture, like this is everything. Of course not. You know, I mean, we're still up in US dollar terms since the inauguration. You know, like we're down bad since the inauguration, since election day. We're still up since election day. And like, since it was clear Donald Trump would win, like that was in the 60s, like we're still up from that. But it's like, why did we get this huge pump and then this huge disappointment? I think the thesis that led to the pump, like, is very much being rejected out there. And I think that's relevant. I don't think to say like, oh, this is the worst thing.
Well, I think the issue is that suddenly we let in TradFi, and TradFi started to value all our bags, and suddenly everyone had something. Firstly, they started to value the L1s that you just described it, stats. Like, it's all a little bit of fugazi when you get to how you should value an L1. And when
same thing's true for gold and silver. How do you value gold?
But some of these are L1s which were saying, hey, you should value us on our fees. And actually, when you look behind the hood, it's like, no. Bitcoin, you can value against gold and silver. But when people talk about Solana or ETH, they were talking about fees. Hype is the only one with a buyback mechanism for those fees. So that's why that valuation makes sense. So I think
I never heard people put, I've been on crypto Twitter for 5 years. I've never seen a fundamental based argument for ETH ever made, ever, on why on a cash flow basis you should buy it. I think people bought ETH because Bitcoin went high and it was the next thing to buy. And Joe Lubin bought a ton of it and he was on CNBC a lot. Like, that was another case where narrative followed price. And price was determined by Tom Lee and Joe Lubin buying 5% of Ethereum in 1 month.
I think people still looked at fees. Maybe not. ETH is a slightly different because it was always traded at such a massive multiple, and there was the L2 argument. But fees that a blockchain makes, I still think was a multiple.
I'd love to see any post that that lays out ETH price on a fee basis in any sort of fundamental way that you've ever seen ever.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, people looked at fees.
Let's see. Let's see one.
Do you not think you remember seeing like Solana trades at 100x its fees? And that ETH trades like 1,000, and that's why Solana looks cheap.
I've never seen a serious post like that, honestly. And I spent 3 years existing in the stat space. I never saw a good fundamental argument about ETH or Solana that anyone took seriously on a like price to earnings, so to speak, ratio. Well, I remember people trying, but I never remember like that being a common.
I mean, if you go to Artemis, they lay it out exactly by fees for that, like by each chain, right?
Maybe it's because
fee multiples is something that people definitely looked at in valuing L1s. How else would you value an L1? Like what else would you value on? Maybe TVL multiple was the other one, but fee multiple and TVL multiple were the two things that people used to value L1s on.
I think I think it's always just been accepted as a gold alternative, and I think everything else kind of follows Bitcoin.
I think we did look at it from a fee alternative, but I think that narrative is now finally being seen used for apps.
That's what I'm saying. I think right now, because it's also very circular, because the fees are actually just gas, right? That like they don't trade like that.
We realized that was wrong, and now we're moving on to something more important: is our apps making money, and that's the only thing that matters.
Right.
Like,
Apps
are going
are
to
the only
flip
thing
up.
that actually makes sense in this sort of world.
That's
And
all
then
that
we
matters.
also, because of all the tokenization efforts, now we have so many other things to trade. Like,
Yeah.
how many out of the percentage of trades that I've done over the last 2 months, like, whereas 6 months ago, none of them would be part of.
This is all that matters. And I think we're just going through a tech boom moment in the crypto, and we're seeing a massive shift from cypherpunk to what it is today, which we discussed, and then from chains to apps. We've been saying this for like 4 years though, Mando. I know you started the year saying that, but like we've been on the show talking about this for a while. Like apps should be worth more than blockchains. Polymarket is absolutely worth more than Polygon of a chain, right? And so the more apps TGE, I think like crypto, the next 10 years of crypto, the first 10 years of crypto was kind of what stats is saying, what we're talking about. It's like the Bitcoin runs, the rest follows Bitcoin. The second Bitcoin shits the bed, every fucking thing breaks. But there's a reason why hype is not shit the bed with Bitcoin the last few weeks, couple weeks, a week or so, is because you're seeing the narrative shift to apps. Like the next 10 years of crypto will be apps.
And bringing this full circle, we couldn't do the apps in America.
Right.
Under the prior admin, there wasn't regulation in place. And like there's
tokenization utility becoming a thing is actually just fucked the majority of the market value of crypto, because it's no longer just this L1 trade. The L1s look really bad in that world.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Vitalik Justin said that L2s are no longer make sense. So we know how we're talking about. Like this is just in like 2 minutes ago. Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin says the original vision, of 4L2s no longer makes sense unless they can extremely scale or do something novel. So return to apps. No,
Is he basically saying that it used to cost $60 to buy, or $60 to buy a stoner cat? Now it doesn't.
It was $1,000 sometimes. Like we paid $1,000 in gas fees in the past, right? But that's been solved for. So
in a world where gas is a lot cheaper, like why are we dealing with this?
Right.
I mean, I get it, but also like that's a big 180 from him. He was one of the biggest drivers of L2s.
But they've solved for it, right? In a way.
But it takes years to build a good L2. So like he told everyone to go build L2.
No, and they
did it.
L2s also became big business, bro.
What's the actual like real blog post? I'd love to hear what his next line is. So does he think everything should be on the L1, or is he saying that?
Let's find it. Let's find it.
It is always worthwhile when you get a single quote from an account from Zoom to verify the background on the statement.
The actual blog post is here. Okay, it's long. What should I look for? The quote that they use. Hold on, they use the quote. Let's find the quote. They use the quote. No longer makes sense. So we're gonna Control F here.
This feels like a misquote. Just looking at this right now, I think he's talking about the original forms of roll-ups rather than the fees-based approach. Like,
yeah, we'll maybe cover this tomorrow. Maybe we'll just go over this tomorrow then, because
I actually don't know what he thinks about L2s now. It's kind of weird, right? Like he's going down this route of.
He says they need to identify a value other than scaling. That pure scaling is not enough of a need. Support maximum interoperability with Ethereum. Be stage 1 at the minimum. I'm not actually sure.
Yeah. So there's that. Anyways, Tyler, I don't know if we're gonna have time for a roundup.
No. So we zoomed out. Great macro conversation. Now we have to figure out how to trade the next 60 seconds in the Ace Trader competition.
Let's talk about this. I almost got liquidated this morning, so I'm gonna share my screen. It's funny. I went long hype in the personal port, but on Ace Trader for fun, I was like, "Fuck it, I'll go against the grain," and shorted hype yesterday.
Oh, no.
And it went all the way to 38 at $40. I would have gotten licked, but it looks like I'm almost back. So, boys, I went from being down $9,000 out of 10K here to being down only 1,600. I'll break even at 34 something or 32 something. Tyler, let's start with you.
Yeah.
You're doing pretty good.
Find me there. Where am I at? 12th? 13th?
Right there, 13th, right there. Damn.
I caught I shoved in heavy on hype last night at 33.
Woo!
I thought, okay, this looks like it's going to break out here. I didn't clip out at 38 at the top. I clipped out around 36.
Damn. Where's Keyboard Monkey now? Jesus.
And he gave a lot.
I don't need to do anything, and I'm going to win this fucking competition against Keyboard like he did.
Well,
you giving him a week to liquidate himself?
dude, it's
Brother.
24 hours. Oh, I
All you
feel
got to do is get top 8. So right now your goal is to get top 8. Then there's going to be a tournament of 8 people trading. So right now, man, you
Top
haven't
8.
traded yet, right?
Kalio's first.
Yeah.
Look at that. He's in the audience right now.
Big
Yo,
dog.
actually, Kalio,
I
hit
think
me up.
Kaleo got out to a really good start. He was at over 200, and he basically tweeted, he's like, I'm top 8. I think I just want to kind of ride a little bit of a Bitcoin long. If you look at Kaleo, you'll see something like that because I think he's playing it right.
Yeah.
I want to get him on a podcast, though. I want to know how this guy got up 200% in one day. Like, what was
Well,
the trend?
Kalio, I saw what you did in the synthetics competition. You were first early, so don't fuck this one up, brother. Okay, top 8 is all you need. He's listening. He's on Twitter Spaces. Why don't you come on the show tomorrow? I'll text you and talk about your trade. So Kalio's here. Tyler's not bad. So Mendo, basically, we just got to make top 8. And then we advance to the next stage.
Once you get to top 8, it's a tournament. It's going to be like one-on-one trading competitions.
I'm 84th.
yeah.
I'm 84th. I'm going to have to really trade this up.
Look for men. Look for men.
Min is
What's
struggling.
the max size? What's the max size you can
So
do?
it's the same as Hyperliquid. So it's based on Hyperliquid. You can trade the same coins in the same size as Hype.
10K. You get a 10K port.
10K port, and you can do the same thing
So I
as
can
Hype.
do it for like 100x on
Yes.
Bitcoin if I wanted to.
Yeah. That's
Well,
how
if
people
it's
are down
available.
100%.
Yeah, it goes up to Bitcoin goes to 40x, just like Hype.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's he's about the famous last words, boys. Mando's about to lock in. So
Yeah.
what do we think? We just had a really good conversation. What are the trades? What are we doing?
Well, I just think it needs to be a competition.
I've done like 8 podcasts, including with Farouk. And if I say, who do you want to trade against? There's one person, and his name rhymes with Rando. And
Really?
that's who everybody wants to know what's going on. And I tell him, I said, I'm not sure he's locked in here, but all you got to do is to get a couple hours with your 40x lever. I think you can make some money here.
That's what I mean. Like, I think I'm just going to pick my spot. Like, if I got enough leverage, then I feel like the issue about these trading competitions is people feel like they always need to have a trade on.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, you make the most money by just that time of the day each day where you just pick your spot.
Okay, I'm not
Like right now, look at the market since Friday night. Like it's not been that great to trade, right? Everything's just kind of gone up, down, up, down. Like even Solana went from like 97 to 103. It's like just in this horrific range. Like let's just wait for it either to dump or rip and then just hammer it. I think I'll have one of those spots before Friday, and I'll be there.
Does it go to Friday or when does this thing end? Do we know?
It ends in a week on February 9th. February 9th at midnight. So actually like February 8th.
Okay.
February 8th, midnight. February 8th is what day?
Sunday night. Our Sunday night.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Friday. My bad. Okay, so we do have until then.
You can just wait up a dump.
Wait, something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen before Sunday, and then you just go 40x.
This is great. I'm loving this. Let's check back in on the market. So yesterday, Min came in here and said that Orangey can't trade for shit. He literally called
Min on the show yesterday.
We had Min on the show yesterday, and he was talking a lot of shit. Like he was like, and by the way, we need Min back. That was hilarious. Mando, you would have loved yesterday. It was so funny.
Yeah.
So anyways, Orangey is now preferred on Myriad. Let's check in on the FOMO boys here because we have markets for the 3 of us. Ooh, Mando's back. Mando's back. Look at that.
Because everyone knows KBM's just going to liquidate himself, brother.
I know.
Well, KBM was in 5th place. He was in 5th place out the gate, and I think he's put out some not great trades.
We know this.
He is always top 5 like the first day.
Yeah.
To be fair, as is Kaleo. And Kaleo won't mind me saying it either.
Kaleo was always like, I remember in synthetics, he was like, yo, I'm fucking killing it. Everyone in synthetics was like, yeah, this guy's so good. And Kaleo fucking busted. I love talking shit because he's in the audience right now. Tyler versus, okay, Tyler's making the boy. Okay, so FOMO boys, let's go. Tyler's cooking easy.
I had Orangey on the podcast. That guy's fun, dude. Have you guys ever talked to him?
I have a few times back in the days. I like him a lot. Orangey's a good kid.
I mean, he got big because of Dookie Dash. He made $500,000 on Dookie Dash.
Well, he got big because of Fortnite, right? And then he was paid on Dookie Dash to pay for other people.
Yeah, no, he got big in our world. He's a professional Fortnite player, and then he made $500,000 finishing 3rd in Dookie Dash.
And on
We
top
had-
of that, paid to
We had
play.
Adam Weissman on the show the other day, and he was the one who bought that key for $1 million.
Yeah.
Dude, did you guys see that Adam bought? This is actually big news. Adam bought Spencer's
3 ace.
Penguin portfolio that Spencer bought from 3 Arrow.
Excuse
Yeah.
me, what?
Yeah.
He bought
Adam Weissman bought Spencer's Pudgy Penguin portfolio that Spencer like
When?
yesterday.
Yesterday.
Because Spencer's trade was like the goated trade. Like he bought like a bunch of Pudgies at like 1 ETH.
Yeah.
Well, he bought the three.
I gotta take a flight to Adam's house.
Dude, honestly,
You know when Spencer drives 4 hours last night in the dark to visit you in brutal cold Binghamton, New York, for an hour at dinner to explain his vision for the future of Moonbirds, and turns back around and drives straight back home 4 hours, you know he's very serious. Adam, I'm like an 8-hour flight away.
I'm kind of confused, but then he just bought his Pudgy Penguin collection.
well, go look at a pretty large collection.
Yeah, and this is Spencer's collection.
That's Spencer's collection. If you look at Spencer actually tweeted like, "Thank you for buying this."
Can you imagine Adam Weissman's DMs? Can you
Oh my
imagine?
I can, because that was 2021 was for like the average person with the following, right? Even yours.
How do we think about this trade from Spencer?
Trying to
How do
sell
you
it.
think about this trade?
We should talk about this trade. I mean, this is one of the single best NFT trades ever. So I think he basically just exited probably close to his entry cost. He's probably actually up on the NFTs as well.
Well, he made the coin,
He got-
dude, the token.
The tokens were probably what, 5 to 10 million. So it's up there with the legendary Mando OSF ape trade.
I don't think so. I'm not going to give Spencer that credit because Moonbirds or Penguins were at 30 ETH and he sold them at 4. Like,
Yeah, it's true.
yes, he made money and it was a great trade, but I'm not going to put it at the level of Mando and OSF dumping 80 apes at like 85 ETH peak blur
In
mania
one click.
onto Machi Big Brother. Like that.
Unstaking them on
That's not
Robit,
even-
fucking dude, unstaking them on Robit, losing 10 apes, fucking finding them, singing them, dumping them on Machi, bro, at NFT Paris. But I do agree that is one of the top trades ever.
I
But
think he gave 5 to 10. That's still a decent trade, though. Do you think he did though? Because surely he's selling the Penguins down here.
well, he's selling the Penguins down
No, the
for
coin he
sure.
made a
But,
lot.
no, but he made a lot of money on Pengu.
Yeah, but how much?
We know-
How much would?
Oh wait, you guys are forgetting the little pudgies. He also had the claim to all of them.
Yeah.
I think the NFTs are basically flat from where he probably bought them.
No, I think you got him like sub 2.
So you think he made money on the NFTs as well?
In ETH terms, for sure. Yeah. No, I think this is a great goated trade, but you
Yeah.
can't put it in the Mando tier when it was at 30 ETH and he sold
No,
it.
the Mando tier was like an 8-figure trade. Plus, these guys got the ape coin out of it too. You forget that. So it's like that was like a ridiculous trade. And you guys got the mutants too, right? It was apes, mutants, and ape coin.
And other side.
And other side. And then you guys, I think if I recall, bought ETH, and that was the bottom of ETH, and ETH went to 4.8K.
I don't know what ETH was at the time. I think it was about
Three, right?
no. We sold them for equivalent of around $140,000, $150,000 each.
Wow.
So each was around 2K at the time, I think.
And then ape coin went to $26.
Could Spencer have even sold this set at 30? I guess is there bid, like, I don't know, like, could you even, is the bid depth?
No, but bids from 18 to 30.
There was a period where it was like NFT DATs are coming, hide your pudgies, right? Where were they then?
We
Like,
got that second pump. They got back to like 60K each.
Yeah, that's
After
when I would have sold them if I could have. That would have been the go-to trade, right? Because you take the coin and then you
Yeah.
you just sold the pump.
The other part of the calculus is he was about to acquire the and then is there bad will? You dump the.
I mean, he could have sold them a lot higher. Like there was bids for Penguins at, 25, 30 ETH for a while there. Like it wouldn't have been the cleanest thing ever, but he could have sold them a lot higher. It was a great trade though. Like let's not.
Real quick, the Burb token,
Oh, what about that?
50% on the upbit listing.
Where is it now?
It got a bit, eh?
It sold off a bit after the pump. Let's see. This is relevant for stats. I don't know if have you even claimed your burb yet.
I haven't. That shit though.
That's are you burbish?
Am I burbish? I mean, I'll take the free money. I got a burb, so why not? I'm gonna go get my dog. It's yawn. Hold on. Yeah.
No. 330 million FTV. So it's back to
Wow.
90. Pretty big move.
Yeah.
Good luck. I know he was in Asia spending a lot of time making sure there was liquidity.
Oh, we have a visitor.
We do.
We have a visitor. Oh, that's the new puppy. Are you
3
keeping it?
weeks old.
Let's
What's
go.
up, Araya? What's up, everybody?
That's a very cute dog. by the
Famous
way.
dog, yeah. She's gonna get eaten by a coyote. I really hope not, but there's so many coyotes on my street, and we like don't even let her out. It's kind of scary.
Are you becoming friends with the dog? Because you weren't sure when you came last time. You were.
Yeah, I was a little unsure. I like training her. It's like fun to see. It's kind of like building a program. Like you just
Oh.
see how it changes over time. That's kind of fun.
What'd you call the dog? What's the name?
What?
What'd you name it?
Rhea, Reya.
I love that.
My oldest son named it.
That's very cute. That is
Yeah,
very
she's a
cute.
cutie. We like her.
I love it. You live in a great place for dogs. So that's nice. Anyways, shall we give some money away? We have 3 winners today.
Let's do it.
So we just pick one more winner. We already know that the other 2, so we'll play for them if they're not here, but they tend to be here. Basil Weeds and Vanessa. Charlie, just let's bring it up. I'll hit up Kaleo. Maybe get Kaleo on tomorrow. We should also get Orangey. We've never had Orangey on the show. It could be a fun show as well. Me win. Man, yesterday, Mando, Min and the chat was just so funny.
Yeah.
Min woke up 5 minutes before coming on the show.
It's worth going back to watch. It was. I wasn't ready for the conversation.
We
You
went
get-
up to
get
like
some clips out.
11:30. It was funny. The show was like all over the place. Oh, good lad, honestly. Very good.
I've never spoken to him. Well, we've spoken in the DMs.
Yeah, it was funny.
Seems like a good kid.
We'll get him on again because the show is requesting him weekly now. So we'll get him on at some point.
Mhm.
All right, let's pick a winner. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, Tremont, nice. Oh, gee, if this is who I think it is, something one has been listening to way back. If I recall the Germontis name, that is some real OG shit. All right, let's take a quick flight. And
Oh, actually, the ops guys asked me to mention this, but we've had an uptick in people multi-accounting, by the way, quite hard on this, and it's causing a little bit of drama. So just know if and we have a lot of software to check this, so just know that if that gets caught, it will cause an issue.
thanks for saying that because you weren't here and I said that and we got in more trouble
You got in trouble?
from the people because I was like, stop multi-accounting. My
There's
Yeet
a lot of
overlords. won't
there's
catch you.
people with like 5 accounts plus.
What's the point? Stop multi-counting.
We know people multi-accounts. It's like I mean, Yeet has software. I mean, Yeet is a pretty big company, guys.
We
So they-
track it 5 hops back because we use it for AML, so we can see.
well, there you go. So Germontis is here, amazing. So let's play Omaha for Basil Weeds. So he won on Friday. How's that?
Yeah.
And then Vanessa and Germontis are here, so we can lamb chop it. So let's play 2 rounds of Omaha for. Let's see, he's here. There you go. Awesome. So we'll play Omaha for you. All right, Basil, let's go. She's saying, please barn me. Damn. Okay, she's already. Okay, he's only got a pair. Already a win on the first card. Let's go. Oh, wait, that's a big one.
Yeah.
579. Let's go.
Yeah,
So
we're lucky Omaha. Omaha's a good game for us, I think.
yeah, he's already up at 1,079. That's 38. Oh, high card only?
Oh, come on, one card.
Come on.
Boom!
What do we hit? Oh,
Pair of queens.
this
We got lucky. We got lucky. We had pairs in our hands.
That's like $1 win.
So he won like 400, 1,400?
Yeah.
All right, boom. What's her name? Sorry. Vanessa's already saying barn me. So let's fucking rip it, girl.
Barn me.
What difficulty did you want it as? All right, let's go. 250. I'm assuming you want it easy.
Are you
RTP on since the update.
All right, we'll go to the tracks and we'll
Easy. Yeah, we'll go to the tracks first. We'll take you to the tracks. then you can play your game. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Boom, Vanessa.
This is a good day.
Let's go, Vanessa. Mendo, hands up. Where I can see them.
Vanessa would like
them.
she's
All right. Good.
All
She's
right.
saying cash. All right. I have to respect it. You did say Barney, though. You said Barney. Vanessa. You said Barney.
She said DJ next one, I think.
Oh no! She should have kept going. That was a good one. Anyway, so that's 600 something already, right? So she's made 652. So she's already up at she's up 1150. Dude, $2,500 given away already this show. All right. Go DJ next one. So I mean, do you want a different difficulty, Vanessa, or what do you want it?
Medium.
Medium.
Yeah.
Love it.
Vamos!
We bonding this?
All right. Boom. No!
Grab that.
All right. Well,
Reality check. All right, good run now.
well, at least she's cooked. All right, Germontis.
$1,200. It's great. All right.
1,200, 1,400. Dude, we're cooking today. Congrats, Vanessa. That's awesome. Thank you both, Basil and Vanessa. And Germontis is OG. NFT NYC 2021 we met. I remember you, dude.
He should play Omaha. I would.
Do you want to give him the choice?
Oh, he wants easy. All right, let's.
Okay, he wants 3 jumps easy. All right, let's just play this game. All right, let me put the music back on. All right, and 1, 2.
Oh,
Mando.
didn't make it to 3 jumps.
I think Vanessa had the easy run.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got. All right, you want to do 3 again?
What do you want, Jamon? Do you want me to
He's
3?
don't lag. No, we'll flip over at this point, and then he'll lose. I don't think we can do it with just one hand.
It's true. All right, Jamontis, rip it, baby. How many tiles you want?
Let's do
Hands up, Mando. Yeet Rundle is saying. I love the Mando memes on this show, man. They're all right. Easy 3 jumps. Let's go. Come on. Everybody's the winner today. There we go. Here's your first 3 jumps, brother. You're close to them tracks. All right. Germontas.
He's on a lag.
Yeah, he's a little lag. We'll wait for him. The music's good though.
I think it's got to go to the tracks.
Two more.
Two more.
Anyway.
Oh, no.
Yes! Yes!
Oh no!
Are you fucking kidding?
Oh no!
Hands were down.
Dude, that was brutal. That was
Pain.
oh well, hey, he still made $500, so we've given about $3,000 on today's show. There you go. Well, that's fun, guys. Ace Trader Comp is still on. Let's try and get another trader on tomorrow's stats. Thanks for coming, dude. Hopefully we have you at least one more time during this time of this competition. That would be a lot of fun. See you, stats. Thank you.
Good to see you, boys.
That was a great show. That was great banter today. I really loved the show today. Tyler Mando, see you guys tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace out.